1 year after the inaugural season of Terrain Marble Trials, the 25mm Terrain Masters are back on the course for the 2024 Terrain Marble Trials Qualifiers. 4 events, 16 competitors fighting for 12 spots, and those 4 events is the first one you see in front of you now. Hurdles, Holeshot Rollback, Gravitrax Obstacle Race, and the Moguls. Hello everybody, I'm your commentator Angus for this tournament, as per usual, solo for this one, and the fans have come out just for these qualifiers to see the 12 marbles that will make it and join Bone Rattler, Blackcurrant, Golden, and Lapis Lazuli in the main tournament for 2024. Of course, those 4 auto-qualified due to their fantastic results in the first season last year, but there are still 12 competitors here fighting for the 16 competitors, fighting for 12 spots, and 4 of them are newcomers. Vagabond, Shining Dawn, the Governor, and Lightning Shark are all brand new competitors to this sport, and we'll see how they go in the qualifiers. But first, we go to a friendly round for the first event. You'll see this before the main show of every qualifier event, with Gordon, Blackcurrant, Bone Rattler, and Lapis in the hurdles to start, and it's Bone Rattler out in front. Blackcurrant and Gordon fighting for second as Gordon pulls away to get second place, but Bone Rattler wins the first event of the friendly round with a good... Lapis had a good start too, but just through the hurdles. There's some... You see in the middle here, there are some slower ones that keep you on your toes and not just consistent big hurdles. The smaller, more squeezed together ones to spread out and make it more variety. And Bone Rattler wins the first friendly round event with Gordon, Blackcurrant, and Lapis getting second, third, and fourth respectively. Lapis was never really in that one, but still 3 more events to get back into that competition as we move on to Heat 1. Spruce Log, Fast Fish, Wave Runner, and Shining Dawn in Heat 1 of the qualifiers. It's a good start by Fast Fish, who pulls well ahead of the rest. Shining Dawn trying to catch up to Spruce Log as Wave Runner stalls out, but Fast Fish cruises to a victory, and Wave Runner does still finish the race, but I think it was the 3rd or 4th big hurdle completely stopped that marble in their tracks. It was right there you see, just slowed to a crawl. Fast Fish from start to finish lived up to their name, and 5.668 is the time to beat. Spruce Log second and Shining Dawn provisionally third. Wave Runner with some work to do in the later events. In Heat 2, Overgrowth, Shiverburn, Lightning Shark, another newcomer, and Amphibian. Varied results from Season 1 here as Lightning Shark takes a commanding lead, the newcomer, over all of the veterans of the sport. Overgrowth sneaks by into second place after a very slow start, the slowest start we've seen so far in this hurdles event, but caught up to past Amphibian very early, and Shiverburn just slowed down on the very last hurdle there, allowing Overgrowth to go into 4th provisionally, but Lightning Shark 5.5, making that half a second mark for 5.5 seconds. They go into P1 with Constellation, Vagabond, Butterscotch, and Breakfast Rito now in Heat 3. Butterscotch and Constellation ahead of the 2 white marbles, but Constellation's trying to get caught by Breakfast Rito, but Butterscotch does cruise to a victory. A great charge in the second half of the track by Breakfast Rito to bolster their time, but it is Constellation to hold on for second place. Vagabond there, similar to Wave Runner, stalled out in an earlier hurdle and just could not catch up from there. 5.709, Butterscotch third, Vagabond down in 11th, while Constellation and Breakfast Rito slot into the middle spots. In the final heat, the Governor, Golden Syrup, Ice Cold, and Gravedigger to decide the final times for this first event. Pretty done even through the first couple of hurdles, but now the top 2 are pulling far and away. Gravedigger wins the race comfortably in a very quick time. The Governor also pulls away from those 2 in the middle lanes, Ice Cold and Golden Syrup, who really slowed down right there. That was the pivotal point for those times. 13th and 14th for those 2. Gravedigger jumped into second place, which means that Fast Fish will get third, and Lightning Shark, one of our newcomers, will win the first qualifying event. A full 20 points for them. Gravedigger 17, Fast Fish 14, and it's linear scoring from Butterscotch's 12 down to Wave Runner's 0. Wave Runner and Vagabond off to a very slow start in particular. They struggled individually in their heats, and currently they join Golden Syrup and Ice Cold in the preliminary relegation zone. Those bottom 4 will not qualify for the season. Everyone else will, but we move on to the Holeshot Rollback, the only bracket-style 2-marble event of last season, and the only one for this season too, as, well, the competitors were a big fan of this one. And here you see how it works. You roll down the ramp, you got to rush back down to the line, and whoever crosses the line or hits the ramp first will obviously get the better time and be better off. And we start with a friendly round bracket-style mini competition here to see how it is done with Blackcurrant and Gordon in Heat 1. Gordon is quicker out of the gate and goes almost higher on the ramp, but Blackcurrant does go higher in the end and cuts them off on the roll back down, and Blackcurrant ends up winning the race with just getting a little bit higher, which allowed them to get more speed down the ramp. There are 2 strategies you can do here. You can either stop early and try to get to the finish line as quick as possible by stopping early, or go to the top and get as much speed back down as possible to try and make the overtake for a continued speed. But if you do that strategy, you got to watch out for the holes, as they will slow you down on the way back. Bone Rattler and Lapis Lazuli in Heat 2 of this. Blackcurrant's on to the final. Gordon will do in the third place round. Lapis Lazuli goes higher. Bone Rattler has to keep it clean now, but can't do it. Lapis Lazuli with the overtake. Also slowed down a bit toward the end, but perhaps that was strategic to get in front of Bone Rattler and stop the overtake. Bone Rattler, of course, finished this event dead last. Their only very poor result in the end of last season. But Lapis Lazuli got silver, while Gordon, another competitor in this friendly round, got gold. And those two, actually Gordon's in the third place round here, struggled against Blackcurrant, but Gordon and Bone Rattler, third place in the friendly round, competing now. Bone Rattler looks to go higher, and does go higher, and keep it clean on the way down. Gordon's got a great run down the track. That was perfect by Gordon. That is how you do it, showing that they were the one to win this event in 2023. They do it expertly from start to finish. They stopped a little bit earlier than they might have wanted to, and then they just kept it clean, did not get caught in any of the columns of Holeshot, and 6.82 by Bone Rattler is one of the slower times we're likely going to see in the main qualifiers, so you want to avoid that. Blackcurrant and Lapis Lazuli in the final of the friendly round to decide who gets the 5 points and the 3 points. It's even coming up the ramp. Dead even, in fact. They go pretty much the same height. It's all about keeping it clean now, and Blackcurrant, perfect charge down the ramp. Lapis Lazuli got caught against the wall in one of those columns and just could not escape. And Blackcurrant gets the full 5 points in event 2 of the friendly round. Let's look at that. Lapis Lazuli on the way back down gets caught right there up against the wall and allows Blackcurrant to streak to a victory. See what this does for the standings. Blackcurrant, of course, full 5 points. Now 7 points. Bone Rattler 6. In fact, everyone is separated by 1 point, 7, 6, 5, and 4. So still all to play for in the friendly round with those two events to go. But now we turn our sights to the main qualifier show. All seated out there. Butterscotch and Vagabond will start. Ice Cold and Shiverburn will finish. You see Butterscotch in the near lane, Vagabond on the far. They've seen the friendly round. What can they do to work with that? Butterscotch goes higher than Vagabond does. Now it's just about keeping it clean to the line. Vagabond's trying to block Butterscotch, it looks like, by going slow. But the Butterscotch is able to go around, keep it clean, and get what looked like a very strong time. Let's see. Vagabond here does get caught up. Perhaps it was trying to block Butterscotch, but it's all about the times. You don't need to try and necessarily race your opponent. You just need to try and get a very quick time. And a 6.11 isn't bad, but a 5.49 by a Butterscotch is much more what you want to be getting. Constellation and Gravedigger now in Heat 2. Gravedigger gets out quicker and stops earlier. Constellation goes incredibly high, keeps it clean enough down the track, and allows Gravedigger to win this individual battle by a wide margin. Gravedigger there, that was almost a perfect run. So they did get, I saw a slight stall there on the way back down, because you can get stuck in this whole shot, and that will successfully put you in dead last. 5.43 though. Gravedigger, a wonderful time, puts them into first place. Shining Dawn and Breakfast Rito now in Heat 3. It's even out of the gate, and it's even for the most part. Breakfast Rito hits the top of the ramp. Can they catch up to Shining Dawn to at least beat them? No, they will not. They will hit the ramp, and that will stop their time effectively the same way that crossing the line stops your time. But Shining Dawn here, coming into their own in this one. They struggled in the hurdles, but they're doing better this time. Where do they go in the standings? They go into third. In fact, third and fourth for these two, right on that cusp of what I would assume to be the top and bottom half, as they were the third run. Heat 4, the halfway point of the second event. Overgrowth and Golden Syrup. Mixed fortunes in the first season. Golden Syrup especially. Golden Syrup goes much lower. Overgrowth almost stalls at the top, but Golden Syrup is struggling to keep it clean down the Holeshot Rollback, and Overgrowth does catch up a little bit, but Golden Syrup still wins this individually. And Overgrowth, of course, they should slot into, I think, the mid-pack spots. Oh no, a bit more than that. Third place for Golden Syrup. Overgrowth goes into fifth. Not bad. They're both going to be provisionally in the top 5, but there's still 8 more runners to go. Golden Syrup in third. Gravedigger and Butterscotch, though, wonderful times. Golden Syrup was also very strong. Several 5-second strong times in there. Will the second half be able to stand up to that? Wave Runner and Fast Fish started on next. These ocean-related teams almost. It's pretty even for start, and then Fast Fish goes very high, gets good rebound, but can't keep it clean down the whole shot. Wave Runner gets the win, but also was hugging the wall, hugging that column on the far side. And Wave Runner might also have a poor time here. It's hard to tell, to be honest. But look at them. They both just slow down on the rollback. Oh, 9th and 10th for Wave Runner and Fast Fish. Provisionally, the bottom 2 spots. Wave Runner in trouble after a poor result in the hurdles as well. They got to pick up the pace a little bit. Lightning Shark and Amphibian. Lightning Shark, of course, won that first event. Amphibian had mixed fortunes, goes very high here. It's a decent rebound and can't get past Lightning Shark. They both hug the near wall, and it allows another very slow time for both competitors. It might even be worse than both the Heat 5 runners. Amphibian could have had a wondrous charge down the whole shot, but just look at that, caught in the column, caught against the wall, 10th and 12th. Amphibian provisionally dead last. Lightning Shark is provisionally not much better, still in 10th place. To move on to Heat 7, the Governor and Spruce Log. Can they do any better than that? Two very dark-hued competitors in this one. It's even out of the gate. Spruce Log now goes way higher as the Governor stops himself. They're trying to keep it clean down to the line, but they can't do it. They stall out in the columns, and Spruce Log makes a wondrous overtake to at least beat the Governor. But will they be? How many more will they beat in the table? Let's have a look here. The Governor gets caught against the wall. Spruce Log, wonderful charge, keeping it off of individual columns and just going cross. That stops them from getting themselves caught in the columns. Very good strategy from Spruce Log with Ice Cold and Shiverburn. The final runs of the day. This second half has not been particularly strong. Can either of these two change that? It's a bit higher for Ice Cold. Shiverburn keeping it clean. That is a great run by Shiverburn. Should be in the top half for sure. Ice Cold went a bit too high, which didn't help, and also didn't help that they could not quite get the rebound, and then they got caught on the way back down. So Shiverburn will easily win this round, and it's good enough for 5th place. 5.73, Ice Cold in 14th. Two poor results to start for Ice Cold and Wave Runner. Both of them are struggling early on. And there you see Gravedigger, 20 points and 17 from the first event too, looking very good to qualify, as is Butterscotch, looking pretty consistent in the top so far, but down the bottom of the table is what you really need to worry about. Currently it's Vagabond, Amphibian, Wave Runner and Ice Cold, and look at the gap. Constellation in 12th is a 9 points clear of Vagabond in 13th. It's already looking like a clear-cut bottom 4 just halfway through the qualifiers. Those bottom 4 need to put some good results together in these last two events, or they're going to be in big trouble. The Gravitrax elimination race, or the Gravitrax obstacle race, sorry, is next. It was an elimination race last season, and in the main show it will be an elimination race, but for these qualifiers it is just a straight charge to the line with 4 heats, as we did for the hurdles race. The friendly round lineup again. Blackcurrant leads, Bone Rattler in second, Lapis and Gordon struggling in the bottom half. But what can they do in the obstacle race? Bone Rattler got second place here in the elimination race. Everyone else mixed fortunes. It's early lead for Bone Rattler, as you should expect, but Gordon is trying to attack that lead. Lapis Lazuli also gets involved. Both get past Bone Rattler. Lapis takes the lead towards the bottom, but Bone Rattler makes a double move at the line and wins the Gravitrax race. Look at that. What a great finish for Bone Rattler. They stalled out. It was somewhere toward the middle of the course, and Gordon was able to make the overtake. A big stall there though for Gordon, allowed Lapis to catch up. There's the stall for Bone Rattler. Gordon and Lapis both get by. Great move here by Lapis to push Gordon aside, and then Bone Rattler just keeps it clean, perfectly off that last obstacle, and it gets them first place in this event. And that puts them in first place in the table. 11, 8, 7, 7. Blackcurrant still in second, but Lapis and Gordon are dead tied on 7 points. Gordon yet to finish last in one of these events, and is still sitting last in the table on a tie break. We'll see what they can do in the final. I'll keep that avoiding last place streak going. But now we move on to, of course, the main show. We got Ice Cold, Overgrowth, Constellation, and Gravedigger in the first round. Off we go. It's an early lead for Overgrowth, but Constellation is already getting involved. They make contact at one of the meeting points, and Overgrowth flies down the course. Beautiful time by Overgrowth. It's close for second place. They're all keeping pace. Ice Cold and Constellation neck and neck across the line. I could not call that in that real time. I still can't call that, but it looks like it's Constellation. I'll have to wait for the timing storm. Look at Overgrowth here. It could have been either Overgrowth or Constellation to get this push, but look at that. Beautiful movement down the course, using the space perfectly, not hitting a single obstacle, a single gap in the track. 9.18. Beautiful by Overgrowth. That should be surely, maybe even in the top 3, as Constellation beats out Ice Cold by 100th of a second to get second place. Heat 2 now. Lightning Shark, Fast Fish, Spruce Log, and Wave Runner. Coming down the Gravitrax course. It's Wave Runner critically out to an early lead. Spruce Log is attacking, but gets pushed to the side by Wave Runner. Attacks again to Spruce Log. Lightning Shark is also trying to get past Spruce Log, but Wave Runner is going to cruise to win. There's that move by Lightning Shark to get second place, but Wave Runner, clear race there, defending very well, and Fast Fish. I said they lived up to their name in the first heat. They did not in the first event. They did not do that here. Slow from start to finish. Look at that block by Wave Runner, keeping them in the lead. Spruce Log here has a go again, but just nudges off of the far wall, and a big stall out with the hole in the track into the obstacle. And second and third place, much more consistent across the board compared to the powerhouse of Overgrowth from the first heat. Second and third for Wave Runner and Lightning Shark. Heat 3, Shining Dawn, the Governor, Golden Syrup, and Amphibian. 2 newcomers on the far lane there, with Golden Syrup and Amphibian also in it. And the 2 newcomers have the lead. Golden Syrup trying to get past the Governor, as the Governor and Golden Syrup both get past Shining Dawn. The Governor leads but gets stalled at the end. Golden Syrup, everyone passes them, and Golden Syrup wins the race. Shining Dawn, I think, just got past Amphibian for the line. Had to see the replay again. It was chaos at the bottom of the track. There's the Governor and Golden Syrup getting past Shining Dawn. Golden Syrup does the same, only to get back by the Governor. And there's the chain reaction that throws the Governor to last place. And Amphibian, just as a mistake, on the line to get 6. And a 10.75 by Golden Syrup is enough to go into 3rd place provisionally. That Marvel looking much better fortunes in these qualifiers compared to the first season, as the final heat is off now. And they got stuck! Reckless Rio and Vagabond are caught, and that's going to be a false start to the race. Butterscotch and Shiverburn both got going well, but they're going to agree that is an unfair start for the qualifiers especially, and they're happy to restart again for those 2 competitors. And here we go for the proper race. They all get going cleanly this time, and Vagabond gets to the lead. Shiverburn attacks and takes the lead of the race, but Vagabond gets back around. A wonderful move there. Shiverburn's trying to attack. Here comes Butterscotch. Here comes Breakfast Rito from 4th to 1st out of nothing. How on earth did they do that? There's Shiverburn getting... Now let's see this Vagabond overtake. Pushed by Butterscotch. That was fantastic. Squeezing past Shiverburn in those gaps. But here's Breakfast Rito. A bump from Butterscotch. And just off of Butterscotch, off of Shiverburn. Good enough for 2nd place. Perfect by Breakfast Rito. That is probably the move of the qualifiers, I'd say for sure. But it's still not good enough to beat Overgrowth's perfect run down the track. And 20 points for Overgrowth. Breakfast Rito and Wave Runner critically get to 3rd place. Even Vagabond also big result for the 3rd and 4th place marbles there. And it gets them actually provisionally out of the zone. Constellation and Fast Fish have fallen in. Those bottom 4 need a big result here. No one's out of it yet. They can still qualify with a good result, but they need an excellent result to qualify, especially Ice Cold down at the bottom with 6 points, 3/14 in a row, as we move on to the Mogul race. Of course, this was the opening event in the 2023 season, and it's the closing qualifier event here. What can these competitors do to try and qualify? But first, what can these 4 competitors do to try and win the friendly round? Bone Rattler wins with 11, while Blackcurrant's in 2nd with 8. Blackcurrant, Gordon, Lapis Lazuli, and Bone Rattler in the final of the friendly round. And they're off. Blackcurrant stopped immediately. Lapis leads the way comfortably over Gordon, but Gordon makes the overtake. Bone Rattler was holding in 3rd pretty much the entire time after that. Collateral block on Blackcurrant, which finished them in 4th place. But Lapis Lazuli, look at that. Last second at the line. Gordon makes the move to pass Lapis Lazuli, and it's enough for, let's see what the standings give us. Gordon does not quite make it to the top of the friendly round. It is Bone Rattler who wins out with 2 wins, 13 and 12 between those 2. Lapis Lazuli, 10 points in 3rd, and Blackcurrant finishing last in those final 2 events gets them just 4th place. So Bone Rattler wins the friendly round and goes into the tournament with that little edge over their auto-qualified companions. But now we move on to the Heat 1 of the qualifiers, the final event of the qualifiers. Shiverburn, Spruce Logger gets the lead of the race. Fast Fish and Reckless Rito also here, fighting for it. Reckless Rito gets the lead, and Shiverburn falls from 1st to last in the 2nd half of the track. But Spruce Log, there's a big bump there, and they fall back into 4th place. All over the place this race was Spruce Log, but they kept it clean at the end, got 2nd place, and a 4.412 is the time to beat by Reckless Rito. A quick one this event, no time to rest for the weary, as Heat 2 lines up now. Amphibian, Butterscotch, Shining Dawn, and Vagabond. Butterscotch was quick out of the gate, but Shining Dawn immediately makes the move. Holding strong to the line is Shining Dawn as Butterscotch swerves far to the right and allows Vagabond to make an overtake. Amphibian was never really in that race either. In fact, they could have passed Butterscotch, but there was a critical block right there by Butterscotch, and 4.218 puts Shining Dawn into 1st place, Vagabond into 3rd. That newcomer could be making a comeback in these final 2 events. Heat 3, Constellation, Overgrowth, Lightning Shark, and the Governor. Overgrowth gets up to the early lead yet again. Will they cruise as well this time? It's not quite as clean as their obstacle race 1, but it is still good enough to win the race. And Overgrowth consistently strong throughout these qualifiers. 4.496, 3rd place. Lightning Shark, 10th and 12th for Constellation as the Governor gets a solid 5th overall. This is a very quick event. Hard to talk about as we move on to Heat 4. The final heat of the qualifiers. Ice Cold, Wave Runner, Golden Syrup, and Gravedigger, sorry. Gravedigger leads the way. I was shocked there. Ice Cold and Wave Runner get past Golden Syrup at the line, but Gravedigger out of the gate just nudges Wave Runner and is able to push themselves to the line. But Wave Runner here, Ice Cold, big stall out, as did Golden Syrup, and that allowed both Ice Cold and Wave Runner to get by. Now, where does this put them overall? Gravedigger, another win, will qualify comfortably. Shining Dawn and Reckless Rito, I've also done enough in 2nd and 3rd, but who has not qualified? We're waiting for those final table to show up and see who's qualified. And there you see, Gravedigger 58 points down to Wave Runner on 27 will qualify. Unfortunately, Fast Fish, Constellation, Ice Cold, and Amphibian will sit out Terrain Rumble Trials in 2024. Of course, this has been a wonderful qualifiers, but now we must prepare these 16 marbles that you see in front of you for the main show, which will start with the Mogul race coming soon.